So today, guys, do I have a build for you? I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. If you like playing conflict, or if you like just hunting those rogues in the Division 2, especially if you're solo and you're just looking for something that has a lot of damage, that if you catch them off guard, which this build allows you to do, you'll start to shred. And this is probably my go-to build in conflict. So if you see me in conflict, typically running some form of this type of build, just because it still has a lot about damage. And what's cool about it is they can't pulse you to death, right? Because that is what this build is built around, pulse resistance. But what I will tell you is some of these pieces are going to be very hard to get, but some of them you guys can craft it, and I'll explain that in the video. So if you guys are ready for this, I did want to show you some conflict gameplay because I got in, did a couple games today, was going off, had some pretty good ones, but I did want to show you some scenarios where, hey, that little bit of extra armor that I have on this build helps out, right? I don't have a ton of armor, but I have enough to survive those instances like this where I just had health left. And what's crazy about it is you can see they can't see me. This guy had no idea it was there. He had a pulse drone up and still able to get to him. I'm able to come over here and look, even with not that much armor, was able to shred this dude pretty quick. He missed his couple shots and then it was over after that. And again, they can't see me. They don't know where I'm at. I'm able to flank. I'm able to come up behind them. They don't know I'm here. Oh, this guy probably didn't know I was here either. Oh, he's down. And then look, he's gonna have one more guy right here. And you guys are seeing the damage. It literally just melts. Take a look at this one. I had a mana literally run up on me. Had no idea I was there because of this build. And that's why I like this build, especially if you're solo. Now, I will tell you, the survivability isn't there. So if they lay into you, 2 or more guys, or you try to face tank with this build, you will go down. Look, another one, was able to sneak up on him. And then I had this guy, I tried to face tank him without popping a med kit. Hey, that's my fault. I deserved to lose that one. But take a look at this one. I ended up getting 3 of them all by myself. So we're coming here. You have another guy, he's beaming. The guy in the back hits me with the fire, but I already downed one of them. So I almost died here. Like, I had to use 3 med kits for this to get it off, and I pop it one more time, and then obviously, boom, I was able to survive. I finished off this one. The other manhunt took off running, and then you have this guy right here come up. You had 2. If the other guy would have stayed, they probably would have got me from the back. They tried pushing. One's going to the left. I'm able to drop him. Those seekers hit me, and I have 1 med kit left yet. So you see what I'm saying? Like, what's crazy about it, the build, the damage is there, right? You just have to play it a certain way. I'm trying to stay in cover. I know I have the damage. If I land him, he will go down. So you can see I red bar. He was already red barred. He had to make a choice, right? Heal or try to fight me, and it was over after that. So let's get into the build. So for the build, we are running a 3-piece Yao, and as you guys saw in the video, it's amazing because of what Yao does. Remember, Yao gives you 40% pulse resistance when you run a 3-piece. So we're getting 10% hazard protection, 5% weapon damage, and 40% pulse resistance. We have weapon damage, crit chance, and a crit damage mod. Now, something for you guys to keep in mind is it's very hard to get crit damage and crit chance or 2 red rolls on a Yao piece. It's because it's the luck of the draw, because you need it to be red so you can roll the top attribute, because that always rolls blue. So that's something that you're gonna have to grind for. Now, you guys can get Yao pieces from, I've been getting them from the Dark Zone caches, from Conflict, and that's typically where you guys can get Yao pieces. I haven't seen them drop too much anywhere else, but yeah, from conflict caches and then from the Dark Zone typically is where you'll see these drops. So if you're looking for them, now you can craft a few of these. So if you haven't and you need the pieces, you can go craft them too. So check your blueprints at the crafting station. For the chest, we're running the closer chest piece. It's gonna give us 5% total armor. We have weapon damage on here, crit chance, crit damage, and critical hit chance. Plus, we're running this with perfect spotter. So we're gonna amplify total weapon damage and skill damage by 20% to pulsed enemies. Now, if you don't have the closer chest piece, you can run a Fenris chest piece here, right? And then you can run the spotter talent. But yeah, that's what we're kind of running with this one. We have the Yao holster, another piece. Like I said, you have to hope for the crit damage, crit chance, and then that way you can roll weapon damage at the top. So all red Yao pieces are very hard to get. Now, some of these pieces, like I said, you can craft them and then hopefully you get them, and then you just have to invest some some materials into it to optimize them and raise up the expertise a little bit. For our knee pads, we're running with the Overlord knee pads with weapon damage, 8% damage targets out of cover, and critical hit damage. For the gloves, we are running the Grupo Sombra gloves. That's going to give us 15% critical hit damage. Plus, we have weapon damage, crit chance, and crit damage on here. And finally, we have the Yao piece right here, which is going to have armor. We have critical chance, critical damage, and then we have 10% pulse resistance. Again, like I said, these are very hard to get 2 reds, but I wanted to have at least one piece blue, and I already had this one for a while back, so I decided, okay, this would be my one piece blue because I have armor on there, I have critical damage, and then I wrote crit chance, and then I put a 10% pulse resistance mod, so I could be at 100% pulse resistance. Will help you fight those players who like to use flatline, right? And we have vigilance, increase total weapon damage by 25%, taking damage to disables as well as for 4 seconds. So yeah, that's typically what I would run there if you guys can get this one. This will be a little easier to get, but obviously you need a lot of things to happen right here, right? You need vigilance, you need crit damage, like just so much going on. If you got a Fenrir's piece here, you can put Fenrir's piece here, and then what you could do is you can swap this piece for the gloves and put like Yao gloves if you have those. For the weapon, I am using the Kingbreaker. That's gonna have 148,000 damage with all reds, but 1 blue. We do have the expertise up on here, but this will still hit hard whether you have 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever expertise you have, it still will hit hard. It's just hitting a lot harder because of this. So we have assault rifle damage, health damage, damage targets out of cover, and then we have perfect flatline, amplifies weapon damage by 20% to pulse the enemies. So we have crit chance, we have 20 rounds, we have the link laser pointer that's gonna automatically pulse the enemies, and then we have critical hit chance on the muzzle. If we look at our stats, you'll see we're at 56% crit chance, 129% crit damage, 75% headshot damage, 21% health damage, and then if you notice, we had 18% damage to targets out of cover. If we head over to our skills, I'm running the decoy. Even though I don't need this because I cannot be pulsed, I like doing this just to distract the enemies because they'll see it, they might go towards it, and I could be on the other side just beaming them as they're targeting that decoy. We also have the scanner pulse, and what that's gonna do is you can just scan and then hopefully see the battlefield, but you can swap out the skills however you would like. But yeah, this is the build right here. Probably one of the hardest hitting Yao builds in the game. And just because it can just shred those enemies when you need it to. And that's the build, guys. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Hopefully you enjoy it. I'll see you in the next one. Hey, NothingButSkillz out.